What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cinemaxxers episode number four. Last episode, we reviewed Adam's most overrated and most underrated movies. Today, we're going to be taking a look at my overrated and underrated movies. Should be another fun episode. We'll have another good couple of debates and some hot takes. Let's get into it. All right. So, the first movie that I think is overrated is The Black Phone. A friend recommended me The Black Phone, and I watched it with him a few months ago. And he said it was a good movie to watch with friends. And unfortunately, as you can see by the rating, I strongly disagreed. I think that it's maybe the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And that is a very, very low praise for a movie. I thought everything about this movie was awful. I thought the acting was complete garbage. Ethan Hawke is actually the actor for the villain in this movie, but you don't ever get to really see his face, so it doesn't even really matter. The premise of it, if I don't think either of you have seen it.
Honestly, Joseph, can we
Haven't seen it.
agree? Can we agree he can just tell us like the spoilers and everything? Are you fine with that? Because I'd love to just
Nah.
hear. No, you don't want to.
No. A child gets abducted by somebody who wears this mask, and he reconnects with other people that have been abducted by a phone in the cellar of his house, and he can talk to these previous kids who have I don't even remember if they were abducted or died. I think they were abducted. They were abducted by him and then killed, and he can talk to them using the phone. I have nothing good to say about this movie. I thought everything about it was awful. It's basically for people who haven't seen it, a worse prisoners in every single way. I don't even want to continue talking about it. It was awful. Everything about it was horrible. Uh, that's going to be a movie that I've overrated because most people, as you can see, have it around three star, three, four. So that's one of my overrated movies. The next I watched very, very recently, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Have either of you seen this?
I have not, but I've obviously heard of it.
So my major problems, the movie's about a Nazi family and who moves to a house right outside of the Auschwitz concentration camp, and it follows the child of the German family. He's 8 years old, and he goes, well, he has free time. He sneaks out of his house and he visits uh, one of the fences in the camp, and he meets a boy named Shmuel, and and they become good friends, but obviously they are confined and separated by the wall or the gate of Auschwitz. And the whole premise of the story, Joseph, are you okay with me spoiling it?
No. I mean, yes, sorry. For
You've
this
seen
one,
it,
yes.
right?
I
And
haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it, but I don't
I
mind.
don't really care for this one, to be honest.
the end of the movie, the German boy digs a hole under the camp of Auschwitz and he sneaks over to the other side to help find to help find Shmuel's father, who Shmuel can't find for the past few days. Obviously, he was killed, and they dig a hole under the fence. And for some reason, the German boy wants to join the concentration camp to help find his father, while the Jewish boy can just easily escape going under. So that's a giant plot hole and something that I found really stupid because obviously the Jewish boy would want to escape when he's given the opportunity, but instead the Jewish boy gives the German boy the striped pajamas that he wears, and they're both walking around the camp trying to find his father, and both of the boys who are both in the striped pajamas, as they call it, are taken to a gas chamber and they are killed along with many other Jewish inmates. And the point I think part of the reason why I strongly dislike the movie is because it makes you feel very upset and it makes you feel very sad and but it does so, I believe, in the wrong way. It tries to make you feel upset while the German boy is being killed, along with the hundreds of other Jewish prisoners in the gas chamber. And after they're gassed, it shows the entire German family crying and enraged while they killed their own son accidentally, along with tens of thousands of other Jewish inmates. So I didn't really understand the point of the ending, where it tries to make you feel sad and sentimental towards the Nazi family. Well, I think that they could have focused it on more of a Schindler's List kind of movie and I guess handle the topic a little bit better. I also thought that it was just a pretty poor depiction of Auschwitz. I thought that it was more lighthearted than it should have been, even though this is a child's movie. It didn't really seem to be a realistic depiction of the camp itself.
Can I make
So,
a question kind of
yeah,
comment? I haven't watched this movie. From what you said, I could kind of think of maybe what it's trying to accomplish, and that's the Germans were so naive, not naive. The Germans were so like kind of I wouldn't I'll just use the word dumb because I can't think of the right word that
yeah.
they just went hated. They had so much hatred they would kill every Jew in sight that it ended up costing them their child's life. And maybe it's not make you trying to sympathize with them, but instead it's maybe trying to make you like this is their own fault and it's trying to teach you the lesson that the Germans were so ruthless and had so little empathy that it could end up doing something like this. Maybe instead of sympathizing with them, it's just a thought. Maybe I don't know.
I think that that definitely is something that could have made the movie a lot better, but I just really don't think it handles it the right way.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't watched it, so.
Pretty much immediately after the German child, along with the Jews, die in the gas chamber, the movie ends like a minute later. So
Mhm.
you don't really get to see, I guess, the aftermath of their actions,
I
or you,
see.
you don't really get to see how it can represent anything. I just didn't really understand the movie as a whole. I didn't really think it did a great job at anything. Uh, I don't think that really any part of the movie is great. The acting's really subpar. I don't think the plot is great the way that they did it. So that's definitely one of my overrated movies. I think most people enjoy it. I know some people that kind of share a similar opinion as me. Uh, but yeah, I,
Here
wa-
we go.
I watched Napoleon Dynamite like 2 days ago, and I know it was a big thing for its time, and I know that my parents like it, and a lot of people from previous generations like it, but I couldn't do this one. It didn't work for me at all.
Did you watch the full movie?
Yeah, it didn't work at all. It wasn't, I didn't really like anything about it. It was pretty hard for me to get through. I didn't find Napoleon funny at all. I thought it was very, very weird. It felt a little bit like Wes Anderson could have produced it or directed it.
Honestly, it gives me
It,
Tarantino vibes
it had it. No, it definitely does not give off Tarantino
all over the
vibes.
place.
It definitely does not. It's more Wes Anderson, the way that it's shot and stylized and how it visually looks, but I just did not find this funny. I didn't connect with any of the characters. I didn't really get it. I didn't like it. I don't think Joseph has seen it,
I
but
haven't seen it.
I would definitely not recommend it to
What
you.
did I rate it? Could you check?
You have it as a
Three,
3.5.
3.5. That makes sense. I found some parts funny, um, and I like the point of it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
No,
what
no,
you.
I don't have a problem with anyone liking it. A lot of people I know enjoy it. I didn't find it funny. It didn't work for me.
Fair.
I just think that there are better versions of these movies where you have such ridiculous comedic characters and it works better and it
You want to
works
know
for
an example that
an
I kind
example
of
will
think
be
is
coming.
similar?
An example will be coming.
Okay, is it Project X by chance?
No, so I have Project X, like I think it's good. I don't think
I
it's like
love Project X. I think it does this exact type of all over the place ridiculousness perfectly. I think it's a
uh
better version of Napoleon.
I think that's super bad. Super bad
You
is
read?
super
Okay.
bad is great.
Joseph,
Uh,
what are your thoughts on like the
On
not this
Superbad or
movie, but
what?
not this movie, but just like kind of the ridiculousness funny genre?
I
I
mean,
feel
I
like The
think
Big
it's good,
Lebowski
but
maybe.
like The Big Lebowski is I don't think it's comparable to like shit like Superbad. It's doing a completely different thing.
yeah.
But I can't compare. I don't know about Napoleon Dynamite. Like I can't compare it stylistically if I haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite. But um, I feel like some movies that if you're comparing it to Superbad or Project X, um, I don't know like why that kind of surprises me. Just because I feel like the way I've heard about this movie is like it's almost like a unique kind of comedy that like isn't really that comparable to anything. But
Yeah,
it's
those are vague comparisons. I wouldn't say they're like exact, but yeah.
Um,
Would you agree, Yoni?
yeah, just I guess kind of similar for Joseph to no. I mean, I wouldn't really compare Napoleon. I didn't really compare Napoleon Dynamite to Project X because Project X is like so extreme and over the top.
Yeah.
And Superbad is obviously it's very different than Napoleon Dynamite. It's a very different movie, but I didn't but they're kind of similar in the sense that they're like high school characters, they're comedic characters, you know?
I can't wait for this next one because I'm going to debate you very hardly on this.
All right, let's move on. I watched this recently, also Iron Man 3. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really think it handled Tony Stark's character all that well. I thought it was okay all across the board. I thought the Mandarin was just eh. I mean, he's just kind of whatever. I didn't really think anything about it was particularly very good. Um, there were a few good scenes, the scenes with all of the suits um, in a battle, and also the Tony Stark's mansion being attacked was nice. But I don't think that there's an action scene as good as the first Iron Man or second Iron Man, and I don't think it does anything particularly better than any of the first two Iron Mans. I think it's definitely the most underwhelming of the trilogy, and it also follows pretty much the same template and same formula as the first two Iron Mans. But Adam, I'd love to hear your
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, so I'm with you on the Mandarin. I think he's obviously the weakest Iron Man villain. I don't remember his name, but Iron Man 2 villain's actually my favorite. I like him over Obadiah.
Which one?
Whiplash or
The
Justin
Scott,
Hammer?
Whiplash.
the not Justin Hammer, whatever.
Whiplash?
Yeah, I
Whiplash.
love Whiplash. Um,
Okay.
yeah, no, that might be a crazy thing, but that's besides the point. I think the Mandarin's by far the weakest villain in all of Iron Man, and that's not what makes this movie's great. The point of this movie isn't the Mandarin, and I guess it maybe spends a little bit too much time on the Mandarin. And obviously, spoiler alert, if most people probably watched it, but obviously not being the actual terrorist, just an actor. I don't think that's really the point. I think what this movie does so well is Tony Stark's character, which is why I nodded when you said that it really lets him know, and I obviously the symbolism with the suits. It's Iron Man 3 is the reason. Another big spoiler, you guys, everyone's probably watched this. It's the reason he sacrificed himself. Is this movie, in my opinion? He realized he's more than the suit in this movie. He realized he didn't need the suits. We all know at this point in Iron Man 3, he was pretty much like the suit. It was like he had like 1,000 of them. I don't know how many exactly. He had way too many. And this movie is what separated himself from that and where he, in my opinion, found himself. And I think without Iron Man 3, the sacrifice never happens in Endgame.
Yeah. I don't know. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't 100% remember the movie. I was watching it on a plane, but I remember not really enjoying the kid in the movie. I really didn't enjoy the fact that he had all these flashbacks, and I didn't really know that this movie was after the Avengers until like three-quarters of the way through. I thought it was in phase one, but I just didn't think they handled, I didn't think they did a good job of continuing Tony Stark's character in the sense that he was getting flashbacks from Thanos the whole time, correct? In the
No,
Avengers.
from the Loki fight.
Okay, yeah, right, from
Yeah.
Loki.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they really did a great job with that.
Joseph, what are your thoughts on Iron Man 3? I'm curious.
To be honest, I haven't seen this movie in like a long time. I probably haven't seen it for like 10 years.
Oh wow.
I remember not thinking it was very good. I just thought it was kind of mid. I feel like
The
I
ending
agree
was
with what
like
you're
on that big ship, just to jog your memory on the ship
Yeah. I
where we
remember obviously the Mandarin and Aldrich Killian and all that stuff.
yeah.
I just I agree with what you said about the character. I remember just feeling like his character arc was pretty good in the movie, but I just thought like the villains were super underwhelming. I know some people like Aldrich Killian, but I just thought he was kind of like generic villain guy, honestly. Like I didn't really
Wow, that's
feel
a
like
lot of Marvel.
yeah, but like I think he's kind of like one of the most easy examples of that. And then obviously I didn't like the Mandarin twist. I feel like it's making a joke out of like Iron Man's most iconic villain. Like,
I'm
especially
with
an
you.
Iron Man who's a character who I don't think has that many good villains, at least from the movies, from what I'm seeing. It's like you're taking the best opportunity to have a good villain with the Mandarin, and you like completely ruin the opportunity, I feel like.
That scene of him in the bed was such a joke when they like barged in on him and he's like
Yeah.
with the girls. I hate that scene.
Yeah, it's like a scene in the Zohan.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I guess we can have differing opinions in terms of I just think this does so much for his character. You can see what I'm not sure exactly what I gave it, but
I gave it as a 3.5. I gave
yeah,
it as a
three and a
That's
half. Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was pretty underwhelming. I thought it was also the most jumbled, and there's a lot going on in it compared to the first Iron Man, which was really grounded. And then the second one did a little bit of a better job, but I thought this was There was a lot happening in this.
Sidebar and a flaming hot take. Iron Man 2 is better than Iron Man 1.
No.
No,
No,
that's
that's
my take.
I
I
don't
think,
even think Iron Man 1's that good. I just think Iron Man 2 is kind of ass.
oh, yeah, that's not the discussion. I just had to throw it out there for everyone listening.
I think
We'll
it goes.
eventually get to an Avengers tier list where I'll make that debate.
I think it goes Iron Man 1, 2, 3.
Two, one,
I
three,
think it
four.
goes 1, 3, 2.
3/2 is
I don't
insane.
think two's that good, bro.
What?
That's really not the hot take.
That's a
I think
ridiculous take.
it's really
Let's see
not.
where Iron Man 2 is
It's an insane take. Wait, what's the average 3.1? Go peep Iron Man 2. You can just search it up on the search bar if you want.
for this. Let me see.
Yeah.
I think I gave Iron Man 2 has
Iron Man 2 is it's
has
probably
Black
underrated on Letterboxd, but it's
Iron Man
I bet
2.
like
I'm
What
not
does
gonna
Iron Man 3.1?
Black
wow. So I
Black
guess
Black
that's not that
Widow
crazy of a take. That's crazy
Black
to me.
I
Black
don't think they're
Widow
like that far apart. I just think like
Black Widow being in the movie upped it an entire star for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Not just Black Widow. For me, the villains were just 10 times better than three. Like
I
so
I
didn't
think
much.
it's I think it's definitely
like
better than
yeah,
three.
but
Yeah.
I didn't
This
really
is this is
feel
not the
moved
debate.
by
This
this
is we
movie
can
at
save this
all.
for another episode. I just had to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was I also like I like Rhodey's role more in Iron Man 2. He's kind of not really involved in Iron Man 3. And the fight scene in Iron Man 2 when both him and
When
Rhodey
they're back to back is
War
so
Machine,
sick.
that's a very good scene.
And the scene where he goes down with the American flag and he
Yeah,
goes
it's a good scene. I think 2 is definitely better than 3.
and Whiplash with his motivation. Oh, I love it.
All right, let's continue. All right. Have either of you seen Taken?
No, but
No,
I've seen clips on TikTok from that one scene.
Everyone
everyone
really
knows that
likes
one
Yeah,
it.
scene.
I've seen the beginning scene on TikTok where he like calls them, but I have no clue
Yeah,
what happens in it.
everyone really likes it. It's kind of just another, in my opinion, worse Prisoners.
I might watch it, so don't spoil.
They took his daughter, Liam Neeson. I don't remember his name in the movie, but I'm just gonna call him Liam Neeson's character. So Liam Neeson's character's daughter gets captive while she goes onto a trip over like abroad with her friends in Europe, and he goes to travel to Europe, and he has that one phone call scene where he's like, "I'll hunt you down."
Yeah, I've
I
seen.
don't remember it that well, but everyone's seen it. I just didn't. I thought it was just kind of like a corny movie. I really didn't think it was that great. A really good friend of mine recommended it to me, and we watched it together. And he was not too happy with my take on it. But I just thought it was kind of everything about it was so generic, like a generic spy movie, generic like villain. I thought from the start the people that kidnap Liam Neeson's daughter was just so generic and it was like it was so like obvious that they had bad intentions from the start because they're all in Europe and Liam Neeson's daughter and her friends are hanging out with this like group of guys and those are the guys that end up taking her and capturing her and it's just like so obvious that that plot twist is coming. So I really didn't think this one was a good spy movie. I know I'm definitely in the minority here, but I thought it just wasn't that good. Nothing about it was that good that or wowed me. I thought it was all really underwhelming.
I'll throw it on my watch list.
I probably wouldn't, but I would not throw it in your watch list. But I guess so because I'd want to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, I'll throw it on there.
Um and
Eventually, we're gonna do a watch list episode. So that
yeah,
reminds me, we got to do that.
Joseph, I don't know if you're going to be too happy with this one, and I know I'm in a huge minority here.
I've also never watched this, so don't spoil.
I'm going to talk about both of these in the same. Mad Max Fury Road and Furiosa to me was just mindless action, and I know that is probably pretty painful for you to hear, Joseph, but I thought it was really just mindless action. I think that I think this isn't a negative about the movie, but even in the start, it's such an odd world and it's such a weird apocalyptic world, and it's really hard to relate to any of these humans care to the humans in the movie because it's such a unique um like universe. And I think that because of that, you really need to have a strong cast and a strong emotional human element to it. And I don't think that it has it at all. I don't think Tom Hardy is really given much to do in Fury Road.
I think that's I completely disagree with that, but you keep
I know you're totally on the opposite end of this, but I just thought it was mindless action. The action's great. Um, I don't think it's as good as some other action movies. Um, but because some of those other action movies, they also have parts that you can relate to as a person. And I didn't think Mad Max was relatable in any sense. I didn't really think there was any emotion to it. And I thought the same for Furiosa. I was on a plane actually, and I watched Furiosa in black and chrome. So that's a discussion in itself. It was not a very, very good viewing experience, but
You watched it in black and chrome.
yeah, it was a very, very weird way to watch that movie. I will probably get to rewatching it in color because I think it'll be a very different movie, but I was getting the same kind of sense in Furiosa than I was in Fury Road. I didn't think in Furiosa had enough of a backstory. I didn't really understand. Um, I don't think Chris Hemsworth had enough to do. I don't think the humans have
What
enough
did
to
you
do.
think of Chris Hemsworth in that movie, like his
I
performance?
thought he's probably the best human because all the other like emperors and like I don't even know what we could call them. I'm just gonna call them like aliens. But all the other like creatures and aliens, I don't really think much of. And then I think Chris Hemsworth is probably my favorite human in these movies. I definitely like him more than um, Mad Max or Tom Hardy. Um, but to me, these are pretty much just mindless action.
Well, and just to clear one thing up, there's no aliens. It's just like radiated like humans, like mutated
Okay, yeah, yeah. I
humans.
didn't know the exact term, but they're
I understand why you have that opinion or why some people have that opinion. You're not the only person I know who thinks that or who watched it and was like, I don't really get what I'm supposed to be like what I was missing because it just seems like an action movie. I think aside from the action being like probably the best action, the best like stunt work, the visual storytelling of like maybe any movie, in my opinion, like I think a lot of the criticisms around like the characters or lack of um can be valid, but I also think the characters like again, I've used this phrase, but it's kind of like show not tell. Like similar to like The Revenant, like Adam, this isn't like a spoiler for the movie, but like Max in Fury Road like barely talks, right? I think it's more about the physical acting, and you can see through his decision making how his character has evolved, not necessarily through words. I think that's the same for Furiosa. Furiosa as a movie has a lot more dialogue. Um,
I would like to just chime and say one thing. All of us have been at least I have, and now you have been hypocritical plenty of times on this podcast. So I'm not gonna, because I've done the exact same thing with the Heath Ledger and only seeing a certain amount of movies. I would like to say that was your main criticism for The Revenant. So just got to put it out there.
that wasn't my main criticism.
That there
My main
wasn't enough
criticism was that
dialogue.
the movie dragged and that
You said there
like
wasn't
there's
enough
a
dialogue.
difference. Well, two things can be true at once. Like a movie can have a lack of dialogue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just think the way The Revenant did it, like I think there was some times where that movie was a little bit too reliant. And again, I think it's a great movie on like the ambiance instead of
Is this
like
not too reliant on the action? I haven't watched it, but is
I
this
think
not
this
too?
is far
some
too
people
reliant on
think
the
that.
action.
I
I
don't I
think
don't think so. I mean, part of it is like, I don't
What's the
think
premise of the
every
movie? I'm curious. I read the thing. It's an apocalyptic world, and there's two rebels on the run. Like without spoiling, what's the premise? I'm
there
curious.
isn't really like it's just like
that's
just
the
watch the
premise of the
movie
movie.
because
Oh,
It's just
really? There's not
it's
like
kind of
a goal.
there's
I don't
not
know.
like
there
any
is a
there's
goal.
not
There
any
absolutely is a goal.
Is it revealed in the beginning of the movie or no?
No, like
Okay,
kind
then
not
never mind.
really.
Don't say it.
I
Don't.
felt like there wasn't really an objective or a plot
Bro,
going on.
what? That's kind of
Really,
crazy. The
I
whole
just
seg
thought
like
Yeah, that's fine.
all right.
I
I
thought
mean, I
it
disagree
was
here.
I'm gonna watch this. I'm
I
throwing it.
understand why people have this opinion. I also understand why if you were just like weirded out by the world, like you thought it's just kind of weird. Obviously, this is like a rehash of, not a rehash, but
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
George Miller who obviously made the original Mad Maxes, it's a kind of a retelling, but it's a completely different version of the story, but in the same world. Um, you don't need to have watched the originals,
I was
obviously.
kind of weirded out by the world, and I really, really tried to put it past, but the story just didn't do enough for me to really like. I'm not really holding the world against it because there are all sorts of science fiction worlds that you can claim as weird. I mean, you could claim like Dune weird. I mean, you could make the crazy claim Star Wars. Like, I'm not calling this weird. I'm not calling this bad because I thought the choices of the world was weird. I just think the world was it really needed something about the story and something about the storytelling that needed me to get on board with it, and the action just wasn't enough.
I
I do
would like
think
to. Oh, sorry. Go
I
for
was
it.
just gonna say I do think part of it, which I will say is a fair criticism, is like while you don't need to have seen the original Mad Maxes, and I haven't even seen them, you do like some context around the original Mad Maxes might be
Very
important just so like
overwhelming going into the movie at first.
you have a like kind of a because it kind of just jumps right in and
Yeah.
like having some background knowledge of like just generally what the world is like could help. Which I do think that like the movie you once you get used to it and if you've seen it multiple times, it's not a problem. Like I understand the world like pretty well and I haven't seen any of the originals. It's just like it is a bit of a jump if you like in my opinion. But
I
so I
would
think
say one of Joseph's like enjoyments of a film is that it can just be sick, which I don't think that's a thing, but for Joseph it is. So my guess is you probably just think this film is sick because from
that's
what I've
part
heard,
of it, but I also think like the
I've heard the action's
visual
amazing in this movie.
I also think that it has some of the best visuals of any movie ever. Like it's the color grading is insane.
Yeah, just sick.
I don't think it's just sick. I think that's just like an objective. Like film is a visual medium and the visuals do matter. And the way that like a story can be told through like mostly visuals rather than necessarily words, similar to The Revenant in my opinion, is what makes both of them like great movies. Um
I'm excited to watch this. I'll give my opinion.
Okay. All right. So I talked about both of these. So now we're done with my overrated films. There's a bunch more overrated, but these are a handful that I, off the top of my head, thought were overrated. And now we're gonna move on to underrated. So to begin, I don't know how both of you feel about this, but I have it as a 3.5.
Can you check what I've rated it?
So I don't think it's
Yeah, 3.5.
I
and
don't
I
think
haven't seen it yet because I was this year is my first time watching.
okay.
So I've seen the first two, but I haven't seen three.
Okay, I don't
But
think
I'm
it's a
aware of some of
masterpiece
the
by any
context of
means,
three.
but I do think Spider-Man 3 is really good. I don't think
It's
it's
the
as
best
good
of
as
the
the first
originals.
two.
It is.
Okay,
It
wow.
is.
I
It
don't think
is.
it's nearly as good as either of the first two.
That's not me saying this movie's underrated. That's me saying the other two are
But
overrated.
I think the common complaint with this movie is that it's very compact and there's a lot going on in it. But I think it handles it pretty decently. You have a good Venom, not great, but you have a pretty good Venom. Um, and how it impacts Peter as a character and how it impacts him as Spider-Man. I think it does a really good job with Venom. Not to the best ability, but I think it does a good job.
Wait,
You've Sandman, which is good. He's another good villain. He's not as good as Green Goblin or Doc Ock in my opinion, but he's good. He's a solid villain. And then you also have uh Adam Hobgoblin.
Yeah, same.
Um Harry
Uh,
Osborn, who I think does a good job, and they do a good job setting him and Peter's relationship up in the trilogy. I think it does a good job kind of following in the footsteps of the first two, where if you watch all three of them very close together, like in a short time period, which I did, I actually watched all three like very, very recently together again. And you can kind of tell it follows a template or a formula for the movie. And Spider-Man 3 follows it also, just a little bit tighter and a little bit more packed with characters. And I still think it does a really good job. I don't really understand the hate that much with this movie. A lot of people claim it's one of the worst Spider-Man movies, one of the worst superhero movies. I really just think it's another good Spider-Man movie.
one
I
thing
would
I would
just,
say, or you go.
yeah, I would say first, I think Bully Maguire slash Venom Maguire is the best acting of Toby in the first three. Besides emotional scenes, I don't really
I'm
count
gonna
those
put
because
some dirt in your eye.
that's their deaths. What?
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
I love Bully Maguire. Probably one of my favorite parts of the Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
I would say I'm with you on a lot of it, but if you're fine with compact and a lot, why don't you like The Amazing Spider-Man 2? That's exactly what The Amazing Spider-Man is too. A lot of characters, compact, and it does it very well.
I like the Amazing Spider-Man too. I don't
Oh,
think it's
oh wait, no, sorry, it's Joseph. My bad. I
I don't
agree with you.
have Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, we'll do a Spider-Man ranking in a future episode. I have the Spider-Man. I've the Amazing Spider-Man 2 as a good movie. I
Okay,
like
good.
it,
Good.
but it is really really hard for me to hate Spider-Man as probably like my
Yeah.
favorite fictional character ever. I don't think there's been a bad Spider-Man movie at all. It is my
Can I chime in with
it is
something?
my least favorite Spider-Man movie, but we'll get into that later. Joseph,
Um, what I was gonna say, and obviously, so I watched Spider-Man 2 for the first time recently because I'm watching the trilogy, and I'll get to Spider-Man 3 at some point. But I'm obviously less excited because I'm aware like this movie is hated more by some people. Um, what I will say is kind of Spider-Man 2 left me with like, okay, like there's gonna be this big kind of like I haven't seen Spider-Man 3, but it's been around for so long. I know a lot of the stuff like going that happens in the movie or stuff like, like you mentioned that there's like three villains. And I feel like Spider-Man 2 leaves you at a point where you're like waiting for like this big tension between Peter and Harry Osborn to like culminate. And I feel like if he's kind of like the third villain in the movie, then I feel like that would kind of be disappointing to some people maybe. And it might be disappointing to me when I watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they do a good job with it. Adam, what do you think? But I think they do a good job. I don't think they do it as
Yeah,
good as they could have, but they do a good job. I think they really do
For me,
a
Bully
solid job
Maguire
with
carries this movie, not the villains. Like, and I guess one of the villains is Venom, but you know what I mean.
and I think it's a good Venom. I mean,
Oh, it's better than Tom Hardy's Venom. That's a hot
I
take.
haven't seen the Venom movies. I
I
kind of
don't like Tom
watched.
Hardy's Venom
Really,
at all.
I'm pretty sure that's a hot take. And I thought
Is
the
that
biggest criticism of the movie is people hated Topher Grace's Venom.
really?
They thought that
Oh,
I know I'm aware of like the context. Eddie Brock is supposed to like be like a bulky, kind of strong, like dickhead guy, and like Toph isn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Venom in the movie is kind of like a I don't know, kind of a loser guy who's like
he's just
I don't
another
know.
photographer. He's kind of like he
Just normal.
kind of like pushes Peter Parker around in the Daily
I don't
Bugle.
like how that I don't like how over the top Tom Hardy's Venom is. That's my opinion. But
I just don't really love Venom as a superhero.
I love the scene where Toby is getting overtaken by the Venom. I love it. But
Yeah,
you'll
no,
see, Joseph.
I think it's really good. I don't think it's like outstanding. I don't think it's great. I just think it's a really good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I've been with you pretty much all the way through your underrated, overrated. So
Yeah.
I hope you
All
stay
right.
that way.
Let's move on. All right, hold on. I'm gonna do this. All right. Jumanji, as both of you guys know, is one of my favorite childhood movies ever.
I haven't
And
watched this.
have either of you seen it?
I've seen this. Yeah.
I think it
I've
is.
watched the better Jumanji, the one with the Rock and
Okay,
All
dude.
right, come on, come on.
I've only watched that one. I haven't watched this one, so I can't say that that was fully rage rate.
Let's not repeat that. Monstrosity of a sentence,
The
but
Rock was pretty good.
I'm gonna try and move on. Robin Williams, which Adam, I know you love, he's in
Yeah,
this one,
love him.
and he plays Alan Parrish. And I'll give you some context of the movie. At the beginning of the movie, Alan and one of his friends, they're playing Jumanji, and Alan, as a child, gets sucked into the movie. And then fast forward 40 years later, and a new set of a set of siblings who move into the house that Alan Parrish got sucked into discover the game again. And they start playing, and a little bit of into them playing, Alan Parrish gets he comes back and he gets sucked out of the game and he's back with them like 30 years later. And so they find the friend that Alan Parrish was playing with 30 years ago, and then all four of them continue the game. And I really just love everything about this movie. I think that the whole concept of the Jumanji board game is so great. I think all of the creatures and natural disasters that are a result of playing this game are just so great. It's such a fun movie. I watched it with childhood friends all the time. I watched it with my siblings. I really just love everything about it. I think it's just an excellent movie, an excellent classic story. And I think it's
Um,
underrated. I don't think people give it the love that it
Joseph,
deserves.
what'd you rate this?
I think I have a 3 or 3.5. I think I liked it kind of. I just felt like well, I watched it for the first time when I wasn't like a little kid. I think I was like 12 maybe. Like so I wasn't like super young. I remember being like, "Oh, this is cool," but like it didn't really make a huge mark on me. I thought the thing that I remember being like, well, first of all, what I will say is the biggest pro is Robin Williams. Is Robin Williams? He's great in this movie. He's funny. I remember him like obviously like, you know, he's one of the like great actors of the last like 30, 40 years, especially comedic. So that was one thing that I really liked. I just remember thinking that the special effects were pretty bad. I
Yeah,
don't know if that's something
special
that
effects
other
aren't
people
great.
thought, but
No,
like it kind
I
of took
probably
me out
agree,
of the
but
movie a little bit.
they're not great. It can definitely look a little cartoony or campy, kind of like goofy, but I kind of just I think you can put it past and just really enjoy the story and just have a fun time with it. Um, Adam,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
seen
I
it?
like the Jumanji concept in the newer movies. It's obviously a lot of comedy in the newer movies. Is this a lot of comedy or?
Yeah, it's less over the top because you have actors like Kevin Hart and Black Jack in the new ones, which I don't hate the new ones,
Blackjack
or Jack Black.
Like Jack, someone clip that.
and The
Um,
Rock, bro. Don't forget about him.
yeah, and
That's
The
like the
Rock.
The triumvirate of
Yeah, I mean, I
ass.
didn't watch
Yeah.
this, so I
But
can't.
yeah, no, there's comedy in it. It's definitely not on the same level, but this is
I'm probably not going to throw it on my watch list, but very interesting.
it's fair. Okay. All right. That's Jumanji. So I have it as a
Never. I've
5 star. This is
just
a
want to put the
British.
premise. He mentioned this a little bit earlier. I've never heard of this movie, let alone seen it. So
I've seen like part of this movie and then I had to like leave for I forget where I think I remember where I was, but I never
I would
finished it, so I
both.
didn't hear it.
I
I
see
would
Ray
both.
Fiennes, so I'm interested.
Yeah, it's a great cast. It's an animated movie, but it's a great
Oh,
cast.
ruined it. I thought it
Um,
wasn't animated for a sec.
this is basically the story of the Jewish people during their time as slaves in Egypt. It's the story of Passover. It's a very short, concise, quick-moving movie. It is not a musical, but it has a lot of musical elements and a lot of songs. And it is, I think, a perfect representation of the story of Passover. My favorite personal scene in it is the 10 Plagues. I think it is an outstanding scene. I think everything about this movie is excellent. It's a 5 star for me.
How
And
long?
it's maybe an hour, 20 minutes. It's a very short movie. I would both watch it. Both of you, I would recommend to watch it as soon as you can. Um, it's also a movie that I personally connect to. Um, I would watch it a lot at my synagogue for Passover when I was a kid. I would watch it with friends. I'd watch it with family. I'm trying to tell my siblings to watch it. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite animated movies of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time. And yeah, I love everything about it.
Shout out B'nai Tzedek.
Yep, yep. I
And
forgot you went to my synagogue.
I do not remember watching this in the slightest. Did we watch this?
I mean, I did. I remember watching it like once in synagogue, but I've seen this movie a lot.
I see. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
also
again,
some of the best music, I think, in an animated movie. It's probably the best music in an animated movie, I think, by a big margin. I really think it's great.
That's a big claim. There's a lot of
yeah,
animated music
we'll
and
definitely
movies
be
with good
tuning in.
music.
I might be missing some off the top of my head, but I think it's one of my favorite scores ever, or soundtrack.
Joseph, we will be tuning in.
I'll give it a shot. I mean, I remember watching the first, I think I only watched the first 20 or 30 and then I had to go, or I can't remember exactly why, but this was like a while ago, like again, probably over 10 years ago. And I thought it was cool, but I just never have gotten back around to it.
Yeah, I would both definitely watch it. Very short watch. I think you'll both like it a lot.
All right, let's move on to the next.
So Ratatouille. All right. So this is
5 stars is
besides two. Besides the two Spider-Verse movies, this is my favorite animated movie of all time. Um, I think Ratatouille is just great. I really think everything about it is great. The world the Paris in this movie feels so lively. It feels so animated. The visuals are great. It's a great Pixar movie. It's my favorite Pixar movie. I think that Remy is a great character, such an easy character to root for. And I think that you can tell that he's so conflicted on whether he wants to really be a rat and follow the footsteps of his family, or if he wants to pursue his passion, which is definitely a topic that many people can relate to. And I think everything about this movie is great. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a good movie. I think I have it at 3.5 stars. It's very good. I will say, I'm gonna, if you want to direct your attention to the top right for everyone viewing, this poster is unbelievable for this film. I love this poster. Just wanted to throw that out there. The premise of the movie is great, and the message it gets across is great. I don't think it's up there with like the elite. Like you said, it's your favorite other than the Spider-Man. Basically, you're saying it's your favorite Pixar movie ever. I
Yeah.
just don't think it's up there with the likes of Cars, with the
Cars
like
is well, not even close,
No,
dude.
Cars is that is
Cars
a
is a
bad take. That is a
Cars is one of the
Cars is shouldn't even be compared to Ratatouille.
prior, let me say this. Prior to Pixar become like falling off after like 2018, Cars was a bottom 5 Pixar movie. There is
It's not
nothing.
something to
Cars
laugh.
is a kids movie.
Actually, all I gotta say, go on Twitter right now, and everyone else watching, if you watch this relatively soon, Cars has just announced it's coming back into theaters for its 20-year anniversary this September. Go on to Twitter right now, type in Cars.
It's all the
A
8-year-old children,
overwhelming
dude.
flood of not only glaze of it, but about just like how much people it affected them when they were a kid. Cars is miles ahead of Ratatouille.
Not even
Miles,
close. Cars is such
miles ahead.
Cars is a kids movie.
Yeah, Ratatouille. Both are kids movies at its
Ratatouille is
core,
not.
but
Yeah,
with
but
A
adults can
movie
messages.
can okay.
watch.
Cars has some adult messages.
Let me
Cars has
rephrase.
adult.
Not really.
Yes, it
Cars is
does.
bait. I will agree. Ratatouille and every Pixar movie is a kids movie, but they can also be enjoyed by adults. Cars cannot be enjoyed by
Cars can
adults.
100% be enjoyed by
No,
an adult.
No, it
Cars cannot
cannot.
be enjoyed
No,
by
it
Yes,
cannot.
it
adults.
can.
No, it cannot. Ratatouille brutally mugs
Nah,
cars.
I think
Now, what I will
Ratatouille is
say
not
about
even on the same
Ratatouille,
stratosphere of Cars.
Ratatouille is a movie I actually really want to rewatch because I watched it when I was like younger, like multiple times. I just don't really remember the movie that well, so I don't even give it a I don't even have it at a rating because it's not fair because I haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah.
I just don't
Um,
remember it that
the
well. But it's
scene.
I've
Do you
everyone
want me to
glazes
like?
it. I would love to see it again
You
because
want
I
me to?
like
Do
animated
you want me
movies.
to? Do you mind if I like say a scene in it that I
I
particularly?
mean I know this obviously the like guy the food
Yeah, the
critic
chef. The chef trying his not his mother's, but the chef trying the chef
the
the
Ratatouille.
yeah the
I've seen
critic
that
trying
scene. No.
the ratatouille that Remy cooked. It's cinema.
May I ask you one question? You say it's like your favorite animated movie ever behind the Spider-Man movies. So basically, your favorite animated movie ever because yes, it's animated, but it's really like another
Yeah,
level. So
yeah.
your favorite Pixar movie ever. I'm curious for it to be that good. It can be a good movie. What puts it over the top? Because I just don't see anything that special about it. I don't see like a scene that's that great. It's like yes, everyone
I
knows
think
like
it's so unique, and I think that the mix of everything in the movie, the Paris being as beautifully looking as it is, Remy's family, I think everything just culminates well together, and I think that there are so many different parts of the movie that you can appreciate.
for me, if you're going to be a 4.5 or above in stars and be like my favorite animated movie ever, there has to be something that jumps out and is
I also just
unreal.
love the story.
Nothing jumps out to me from Ratatouille.
I love the story so much. I think it's just so.
Yeah,
But
again,
something jumps out for
for,
Cars.
I think it's
yeah,
such
oh,
a good
100%.
plot. Yeah,
Lightning
What part
McQueen
of
is the
Cars
greatest
jumps out?
animated character ever
What?
behind
He's
maybe
not a top 100 animated
behind
character.
maybe Peabody. He's
Okay,
probably the
maybe that's a
greatest.
stretch, but like
Lightning
also
McQueen
again
is like
Peabody. Like I know you like that
Peabody's
movie,
number
but
one for me. Lightning McQueen is probably number two.
Lightning
Lightning McQueen
McQueen
stands out.
is
There's nothing special about
not.
the Ratatouille, Remy. There's really nothing that special about Remy.
there definitely is.
I'm not hating on the movie. It's good. It's just not in the same stratosphere as Cars.
It's that's just a really bad take.
Yeah, Cars is not just a kids movie. It can only be enjoyed by kids, in my
You
opinion.
couldn't be more incorrect on that take. That's your worst take you've probably given on this entire podcast.
I just don't see
I
what
think
about
Remy's a
Cars can
great.
a grown up watch. There's no
I think
like
Remy's a great
I think what
representation of passion and trying to pursue your goals. I think that's what makes him a special character.
Lightning McQueen's the definition of motivation.
I think Cars is just it's just not as relatable. It's not on the same level. I don't really think it does anything good like
I think
special at all.
also what I think Yoni, tell me, correct me if I'm wrong. I think one thing you're trying to get across is it's not just like the story, it's like kind of like the vibe and like the atmosphere, which is like I think very important in an animated movie. Like
Yeah,
I have Fantastic Mr. Fox, like it's my favorite movie of all time, and that's one of the reasons.
You
yeah.
guys are
Like
acting
for
like
that.
it's crazy to sound this. Cars has a 3.9, which is like point 0.3 less. You're acting like my take is insane.
What's
It's a
the average
completely
for
normal
Ratatouille?
take.
4.2. Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
Cars is a
I
3.9. This is a normal take.
It's really not
It
among actual.
100% is.
Cars is one of the movies like Revenge of the Sith on Letterboxd where
Not at
it's
all.
become oversaturated by like the
exactly
people who get
like
the
that.
app and log 5 movies.
It's exactly like
Not
that.
at all. Not at all.
Ratatouille has a 4.2, but it is underrated for me. I don't think it gets the total praise that it deserves. Um, I
I
would
mean,
say Cars.
I have Cars at a
I'm
4.5
gonna
because the
change.
animated movie will
I'm
never
gonna
be a
go
five
back
star
and
for me. But
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put Cars 2 and Cars 3 all on the overrated list.
yeah,
And
wrong again. Wrong
So I
again.
actually haven't seen Cars 3. Cars 2 is the biggest like I think people have hysteria around this movie because yes, people I think people like have genuinely convinced yourself like, oh, it's actually not that bad. Cars 2 when it came out, and I watched this when it came out as a kid.
Yeah,
This was
I'm
one of
sure
the
you
first
remember.
movies.
I'm sure you remember. How
I
old
do
were
remember
you?
this. I've also seen this movie more than once.
How
I've
old
seen
were
Cars
you?
2 more than once. When I first saw it, I was probably like 6. And I think I saw it like most recently like 5 or 6 years ago. It was like on TV. But like Cars 2 is one of the first movies I watched, and I'm like, that's a bad movie. Like, you know what I
wrong,
mean? When you
wrong.
realize like that's a
The
bad movie.
international aspect is brilliant.
It's horrible.
It's
I
brilliant.
haven't
It's
watched
horrible.
Cars 2, but all of the people that I actually like trust on whether or not a movie is good. I've heard from them that Cars 2 is like really bad.
No, I
Yoni,
gave
can
it
I
like a
give
three and a
this
half.
take on Cars 2? Basically, you form your own opinion. I don't know, you probably will never watch it or only watch it as like a joke if you're with other people, but like it's one of those movies where people like either pretend to like it or joke about liking it because of how bad it is.
I
Yeah,
fully
Like
like
it's
it.
so
I fully
bad
like
that
it.
people
I
like
will
think it's
watch
funny
it.
to say it's
I
I
good.
will
fully
watch
enjoy Cars too.
I will watch it if my like 7-year-old brother accidentally happens to put it on.
Okay, imagine if the sequel to Finding Nemo, instead of Finding Dory, whatever you think about the movie, was that like there's a bunch of Nazi fish, and then there's like a
Yeah, I've heard
secret.
about that. I don't really understand it. I haven't seen it.
Your take that you just gave about Cars 2 is people only say they like it because they're trying to joke is exactly the take about Pulp Fiction and Once Upon a Hollywood.
That is
It's
What?
not no,
literally
that is
exactly.
not
People only say it's good because it's that bad. What you just said about Cars 2 is exactly what people say about Pulp
Why are you
Fiction.
get like genuinely? What are you saying right
It's
now?
genuinely true. The fact that that's just your Cars 2 take is people genuinely enjoy that and enjoy that movie. And the fact that you don't think that's true is crazy.
All right. Uh, let's move
Mental.
on.
Mental.
Cars 2 is a bottom five Pixar
You've never watched it. Nice try though.
It's not good, but
movie. Step Brothers. All right.
Love it. Love Step Brothers.
This is by far my favorite comedy movie by a significant mile. I have it as a 4.5. I think I think it is by far the funniest movie ever. Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly's chemistry is just unbelievable. Every single th interaction that they have with one another is absolutely hilarious. I think it's the most quotable movie of all time. It is so
Mm.
unbelievably funny. It's one of the most quotable movies of all time.
Infinity War, bro.
That is a horrible take. No.
What?
What
Infinity War is a top five quotable movie ever.
are you talking
no. Endgame is more quotable, if anything, bro.
What are you talking? Name
Well,
like five quotes from
He's
Infinity
talking
War.
about like the Reddit humor, like, ah, yes,
Reddit humor,
perfectly
of course.
balanced, like that
Of
kind of
course.
shit.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, I mean, these two, the two stepbrothers, just have so much chemistry. They're just as funny when they despise each other, and they are just as funny when they love each other. It is so, so funny. Adam Scott in it is very great. He gives a different kind of comedic performance, but he works well with the two primary actors. It's just great. I think it's so funny. I think it's the funniest movie ever.
Yeah. We can move ahead. There's not too much.
Yeah, I don't really have comedy is not my strong area, so I've never seen haven't seen a shit ton of like Will Ferrell or Adam Sandler movies to be honest. So
Yeah.
this is definitely one I need to watch though.
It's
Yeah,
Everyone,
also the first rated R movie I've ever seen in my life. I remember my friends and I were all having like a big sleepover for someone's birthday. We were like 12 or 13 or whatever, and we turned it on and it was just hysterical.
is
So
this
funny.
really rated R?
Yeah. Oh
I never
yeah,
knew
of
that. I
course.
never knew that.
So yeah, I think it should be a full star, higher average than it deserves.
Wow, 4.5 on Letterboxd is like, bro, that's like Tenet territory. That you got to be
Tenet
insane.
has a lower rating than Step Brothers, by the way.
No, Step Brothers has an average of 4.
No, Step Brothers has an average of
At
is that not 3.5?
3.5.
No, I guess 3.5,
Tenet
but
has an average of
most
3.4,
people
and
rate it a
Tenet's worse.
4.
Yeah, it was Joseph. It was all right. Never mind. All right, we're
Um, but yeah, that's my favorite comedy. Second favorite is Superbad. All right, this might be another hot take. Fantastic Four, first
not a
step.
hot take. 4 stars.
I thought
This isn't
four,
underrated.
4 star for me is a great movie. I thought it was a great addition to the MCU. I really thought it was enjoyable. I thought it was a good cast of
Wait, scroll
characters.
down. What's the average rating on this?
A 3.3,
That's
but
a
I
bit
think
low, but
it's
I don't think 4 stars is saying this movie's underrated.
I was not expecting it to be a 3.3. I thought a lot of people didn't like it.
No, I came out of the theater saying this was a great movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought it was really solid across the board. Um, I thought they handled pretty much most of the characters pretty well. I think
Silver Surfer was great.
I
Silver
didn't have
Surfer
any
was great.
I didn't have any problems with Silver Surfer at all. I was a little bit upset that she was not the like I guess traditional Silver Surfer with him being a guy, but I thought they really did a good job. I thought it made sense. I thought it was a good Galactus.
My biggest issue
I
with this movie
disagree
was
with that.
Galactus. Yeah, my
I think
biggest issue was
Galactus is
He's a
bad.
really hard character to get right.
he is,
Yeah, I don't
but
think
they
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 got it
screwed it
right.
up. That was the one bad part about this movie.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. I really like the concept of bringing Franklin Richards into the MCU, where you have this child that's so important. And I actually really enjoyed him bringing back Sue Storm to life. I thought that was really cool because it showed his powers. Obviously, you can complain maybe like Sue shouldn't have died in the first place, but I thought it was unique how they showed his powers in a very in a very unique way. I really enjoyed Fantastic Four. I thought it was great. I'm excited to see them in other MCU movies. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
I'll be honest, nothing to do with this. I'm not excited for any. I'm not excited for Doomsday. There's just nothing that intrigues me about it. I know this is a separate convo. I know they dropped Doom at the end of this movie, but like Fantastic Four didn't really hype me up for like a future movie. I thought as a standalone movie, it's actually pretty good. That's why I walked out. And I don't think four is underrating this movie. I think just the direction the MCU is headed in general, and that includes this movie, just doesn't really intrigue me. I'm not.
Maybe, okay, let me make something clear, which both of you might disagree with. Fantastic Four is underrated for me in the sense that I believe it's my fifth favorite MCU movie. Fourth or
That
fifth,
is very wow.
fourth or fifth favorite MCU movie.
Wow.
I
It's
mean,
not even top 10, maybe not top 15.
let's be honest, like the MCU has so many movies that are kind of in the Fantastic Four range that if you have it at the top of that range, I'm not really gonna like fault you. Probably have it a bit lower because I think I have it at 3.5 and like honestly, I probably agree with the average rating, like a 3.3. I feel like this movie, the best part of it is like the family dynamics aspect for the first like half or two-thirds of the movie and also the aesthetics.
Yeah,
I feel like for most of the movie, this is one of the problems I'll get to. For most of the movie, you can tell there's kind of a clear directorial vision here, which is, I think, a problem that a lot of MCU movies have, where it just feels like it's like mass produced. But I didn't think that was the case. I just felt the last kind of battle was like, I didn't like the last battle.
It was awful.
it
Not
was
only
okay.
just
I thought it was fine. I thought it was
The
serviceable.
first two-thirds of this movie carried it.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought the final battle was serviceable. I didn't think it was anything that great. But I will give
Galactus,
it.
Galactus gave a
Galactus
speech like
basically
that.
was reduced to like a Godzilla-esque, like walking monster
It
guy.
was ridiculous. Yeah, he could
And then
eat a damn
also,
planet.
I don't
I
know.
also really enjoyed I think the second act. Um,
My favorite part of the movie is when they went and looked for Galactus in space. I love that part of the
I
movie.
liked the part where they had to either save the entire, where they were given the choice where they had to save either the entire world or Franklin Richards, and they announced it to the public. I thought that was a
Yeah.
cool way to go. It didn't really amount to anything that crazy or unique, but I thought that was very cool while watching it. I was like,
It's
oh,
good. It's just it's
Marvel,
nowhere near top 10 or
Marvel
nowhere near
movies
top
normally
5
don't
for
do
everything.
that. But yeah, I thought Fantastic Four is underrated in the sense that it's one of my favorite MCU movies.
I see.
Anything after Endgame can't be near top 5.
All right, so this
Yeah.
is
By the way, not to interrupt you, I think I might watch this tonight. Just
okay.
so
I think you should.
I think I'm going
Um,
to.
this
We
is
talked
definitely
about this a bit
Yeah, we talked about this
last
a
two
bit, but
episodes ago.
the average rating is actually a lot higher than I thought. But I just feel that in the sense of Denis conversations, it is never spoken about with as high praise as like a Prisoners or like a Dune 2 or like a
A
Blade
Blade
Runner. I
Runner.
think it is easily his best movie, and he's made many, many like,
Yeah.
amazing movies. I think it's so underrated. It's never talked about. It's not given enough love as it should. Maybe the best crafted movie I've seen in my life.
I'm excited. I think I'm going to watch it tonight.
I think also part of that is definitely like, look, this movie is in French, and it was his last movie in French.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. People don't want to watch like a subtitled movie or it's less known, had a much smaller budget. But like, I do agree that it's his best movie, and I do agree that I agree that it's his best movie by like a long shot, just because like I think he has so many masterpieces. But yeah, I agree that it's underrated in the sense that not
It's
enough
I,
not
people have
talked
seen
about.
it.
I had never heard of this movie in my
I,
life
Me
before you
too.
two brought it up to me 3 weeks
I've,
ago,
I've
and it has
never
a
heard it before
4.4 on
Joseph.
Letterboxd. That's the definition of underrated. I'd never heard of it.
And I think part of the reason why it's underrated, it's not really like a kind of a friendly topic. I mean, like you've like Blade Runner, big sequel to a very famous movie. Um, I guess Prisoners is a little bit harder to get into, but like I feel like I hear about Prisoners so much more.
This movie, yeah,
Dune, I mean, like it's just not Denis doesn't really do stories like this often.
yeah. What I would say, and to you, Adam, or to anyone who is considering watching this, this is not a movie that you should just go in like la 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 la. Like this is kind of like a serious movie,
That's
with
why I've waited so long. I'm going to watch it downstairs
You
with
completely.
you
very
have to
serious subject matters.
Yeah.
So you should just be prepared for that because
Okay. Got it.
um it probably will be one of the more, I don't know if disturbing is the word, but like heavy movies you've
Yeah,
seen.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a hard watch where it's very heavy topics kind of slowly unraveling.
got you, got you.
But you just gotta go into it open-minded, really, really pay attention, and you'll be amazed. I'll be surprised if you're anything short of amazed. It's really, really great craft.
All
Yeah.
right, I'm excited.
So that's my underrated and overrated. I think we're done with my underrated list. A lot of
It was a
different
good episode. Not too many
underrated
debates.
movies.
Yep.
Um, Obviously great episode. Next episode we'll be doing my overrated and underrated movies. Yeah, and I think it's also going to be pretty interesting. There's a couple that might have interesting debates about or heated debates, but yeah. See you next episode. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and
Guys.
comment your thoughts below. All right.